Hi, I'm Brandy, and I'm from Portugal. You'll never believe what I had to do to get my mom to sign me up for school. But before I continue, please like and subscribe to our channel. I grew up with a super talented mom. Not only was she a songwriter, she was also a famous singer as well. I used to enjoy going to Mom's concerts and cheering her on from backstage. But when I was 5, everything changed. One afternoon, as Mom picked me up from preschool, a man dressed in all black and a mask tried to take me away. Mommy! Luckily for me, Mom's bodyguards were able to rescue me, but the man was never caught. From that day forward, Mom decided to homeschool me. When I was 8, I was singing to one of the songs on the radio, and Mom walked into my room.
Brandy, you have a beautiful voice.
Do you think I could go up on stage and sing with you one day?
I'm sure you can, sweetheart.
The next day when I woke up, there was a guitar with a red bow in my bedroom with a note that said, "Love, Mom." While Mom hired the best tutors for schoolwork and to play the guitar, I didn't have any friends. Unless you counted my stuffed rabbit, Whiskers, that my mom bought me. When I was 13, I begged Mom to send me back to school. But Mom went bonkers! I knew I had to take matters into my own hands. And that's exactly what I did. One day, I snuck into Mom's room while she was sleeping and glued all her shoes to the floor.
Brandy! What did you do?
Nothing, Mom. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Another time, Mom threw a party, and I walked into the party dressed in a clown outfit and a full face of clown makeup.
Brandy, what on earth are you wearing?
Isn't it cute, Mom?
Mom was furious. She tried to get me to change, but I told her I'd continue doing weird things until she allowed me to go to a school of my choice. My antics went on for over a year until... One morning during breakfast, Mom made a big announcement.
After much thought, I have decided to send you to the school that you requested.
Are you serious? Thanks, Mom. You're the best.
About a week later, when I entered the classroom on my first day, the kids all looked at me as though I was some type of weirdo.
Weird bunny girl.
Who brings a stuffed animal to school?
After I found my seat, I was a bit excited and nervous as I was not sure of what to expect next. During science class, the teacher asked a question that nobody was able to answer. Well, almost nobody.
Brandy, would you like to have a go at it? Which 2 parts of the body continue to grow for your entire life?
Oh, that's easy. The nose and the ears.
Very good, Brandy.
As the teacher continued with the class, I answered all the questions correctly. What I didn't expect was the death stares from the other students. Like, what was I supposed to do? Not answer the questions?
Who knew that Weird Bugs bunny girl was also a geek?
When the bell rang, as I was walking through the corridor, I noticed a glass case with music competition trophies. While admiring it, I bumped into someone. I'm so sorry. When I looked up, before me stood the cutest guy I'd ever seen. Not that I've seen many cute guys.
Hey, it's okay. Jesse's the name.
And I'm Brandy. Before I could get any more words out, someone pushed me from behind. I stumbled and Jesse caught my arm.
You okay, Sunshine? I wanted to see if the geeky bunny girl would have hopped away. Don't be a jerk, Alex. Are you going to stop me, pretty boy?
Jesse?
Great! The trash is taking itself out.
The next day during lunch, I turned up my headphones to silence the teasing from the other kids. Just then, my favorite song came on, and I did what I always do. Belted out the lyrics like no one was listening. But someone was listening.
You sound like a horse trying to sing opera.
Before I could respond, 3 girls walked over to us.
Stuff it, Alex. Are you afraid of a little competition? She sounds amazing and you know it.
I haven't had any real competition in 3 years. Did you check the trophies in the hallways? The name of my group are on them, not yours.
Girl, where did you learn to sing like that?
I told the girls that I was homeschooled and I had had voice lessons. I skipped the part about who my mother was.
We've got some great news. We've all decided to allow you to be a part of our singing group, the A Cappella Sorority Sisters.
Really? I'd love to.
But you'll definitely need to get rid of that stuffed rabbit, and we'll need to go shopping to upgrade your wardrobe.
Finally! I'd gotten what I've always wanted, friends! But it did come with a cost. Ever since Alex found out that I was part of Rebecca's group, he did everything to make my life a living nightmare. One time during class, I stood up to answer a question, and just as I sat down, Alex put a whoopee cushion on my seat. The farting sound wasn't the worst of it. The smell was awful. Kids at school called me Fart Girl for an entire week. One afternoon while at the mall, I bumped into someone. Jesse, what are you doing here?
Just hanging out. Why are you coming out of the men's store?
Window shopping.
So, I heard you joined the a cappella sorority sisters.
You heard correctly.
Are you any good?
Find me a singing booth, and I'll let you be the judge of that. A few minutes later, we walked into a record store, and the guy set up 2 mics for us.
Let's make this interesting. How about we do a duet?
Is that the worst you can do? Jesse picked the song, and as the music track began to play, our voices blended beautifully. By the time the song was done, there was a crowd of people around us, and they all cheered. After Jesse and I sang, I told him I had to rush to practice with the girls. About 2 hours later, I showed up at Rebecca's, and the other girls were already there. We practiced for about 3 hours before we decided to take a break.
Do you guys really think we could win against Alex and his boys this year? We sure can, now that we have our secret weapon.
Rehearsal was totally awesome, and we decided to meet a few days a week until the competition. But what happened before that shook my world. A few days later, Angelica and I were hanging out at the mall.
Why did you go into that store? Didn't you say that your dad left when you were a baby?
To avoid her questioning, I quickly pulled Angelica over to a display window with the most gorgeous fairy wings ever. Aren't they amazing? I'll buy us a pair, and tomorrow we can wear them to school. The only thing I loved more than bunnies was fairies. I was super excited. I tried to give Angelica her pair of wings, but she insisted that I bring them to school with me the next day. As we walked into the food court, we spotted Alex standing at the front of the line chatting with the cashier.
Listen, I've got to get something for my mom. I'll see you at school tomorrow.
As I walked closer to Alex, I realized that something was wrong.
I know it's here somewhere.
I watched as Alex searched his pockets and his backpack frantically, while the girl behind the counter looked slightly annoyed.
Sir, if you don't have the money, I have to ask you to step out of the line.
I gasped as I saw Alex hold onto one end of the tray and the server held the other. Had Alex lost it?
Please, I need this. Maybe I can do some dishes or something.
I'll pay for it.
That'll be $13.49, ma'am.
I thought Alex may have been too macho to accept help from Brandy the weirdo, but he just stood there. After I paid for his food, I turned to walk away, but he held my hand gently.
Thank you. This really is, thanks.
And with that, he turned and walked away. The next day at school, I couldn't wait to show off my fairy wings, but I stopped in my tracks when I saw Angelica.
Good God, who died and made her the mother of all fairies? And she really thought I would wear fairy wings at school like a freak?
I couldn't understand school kids. Why were they so mean to people who weren't exactly like them?
Hey there, cute fairy wings. Do you have another pair in there for me?
Are you making fun of me, or do you really want the wings?
Does this look like a face that's making fun of you? Let's get these wings on. Shall we head to class, my fairy maiden?
We shall. That day was spectacular. The teachers didn't even mind that Jesse and I wore the wings. Over time, the kids stopped laughing, and they were giving us compliments about the wings. A few girls even asked where I bought them. Later that day, while Jesse and I were having lunch, Rebecca, Trisha, and Angelica walked up to us.
We heard what Angelica did to you this morning, and we're so sorry that she did that. That is not how friends act. Angelica has something she wants to say to you.
I knew that Rebecca and Trisha were trying to do the right thing, but in my heart, it didn't feel right. Angelica looked so embarrassed. I decided to take matters into my own hands. Do you guys mind if Angelica and I have a few minutes alone? Come on, Angelica. Once away from everyone, I felt as though the tension from Angelica's body just lifted. We sat for a few minutes before Angelica broke the silence.
I'm sorry about what I did. I was just so jealous of how Rebecca keeps going on about you. She's my best friend, but now that you're here, she doesn't even act like it.
Have you told Rebecca how you felt? I wanted to come to school to make lots of friends and have new experiences. I haven't gotten lots of friends yet, but the few friends I did have made me feel totally special.
Can you ever forgive me for being such an idiot?
That's what friends do. don't they? They give each other second chances.
I'm going to find Rebecca.
Hey,
Hey yourself.
I just wanted to thank you again for what you did for me the other day. I was taking that food home for my younger siblings.
I'll do that for any friend of mine.
Friend? I've been nothing but mean to you since day one, and you still consider me a friend?
Well, maybe an associate.
Cute, amazing, and a sense of humor.
Did Alex think I had a sense of humor? Tell me more about those younger siblings of yours. I always wanted siblings. For the next 30 minutes, Alex and I shared things about our personal lives. Alex wasn't as bad as he seemed. His family was just going through a rough patch right now. With his mom ill and his dad working all the time, he had 3 younger siblings. Then, he told me something I never would have expected.
The reason I was so mean to you was because I saw all the attention Jesse was giving to you.
But why would that upset you?
Because, I like him.
What do you mean? Oh! Does anyone else know? Don't worry. When you're ready to come out about it, I'll be there to support you.
Thank you.
A few days later, competition night! I was a nervous wreck! When our name called and we stepped onto the stage, I knew this was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. After we performed, someone Mom hadn't seen in years was waiting for me backstage. Dad, you made it!
You invited me, and I knew how important this was for you.
Henry, what on earth are you doing here?
Okay, don't go getting confused. You see, when I was 13, I found out that Mom actually didn't write her own songs. She stole them from, drumroll please, my dad. When Dad realized Mom was stealing his songs and didn't give him credit, he tried to fight it. But without proof, Mom's lawyers crushed him, and in the process, he lost me and his dignity. You see, I found out where Dad worked, and that's why I chose to attend Bradford High, because it was close to the mall where Dad worked. I'd visit him a few days a week after school, and I'd always buy a few things before leaving. Now it was time for Mom and Dad to settle their differences, and time for Mom to pay Dad what was rightfully his. Mom, I invited Dad because you've kept him out of our life long enough, and you also owe him for what you stole from him.
What's the meaning of this? We're leaving.
If we leave now, I'll tell everyone what you did and I'll never speak to you again. Every girl needs their father. Why should I be any different? Mom, please.
Fine. I'll meet you at my office. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Just as Mom gave Dad the address of her office, the MC stepped towards the mic and I held my breath.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. And this year's winners of the musical competition are the a cappella sorority sisters.
We won! We won!
After the competition, we all went out to celebrate. And the next day, as promised, Mom met with Dad and she gave him a check of $10 million. She apologized to the both of us for what she did and told us that he could visit me anytime at the house. Everything in my life seemed to be going great. I had friends, my dad was around, but there was still something missing.
There's something I've been wanting to ask you for the longest while.
Yes?
Would you like to go on a date with me?
I thought you'd never ask.